GWN7 News reporter Tom Marlow joins us now live from Parliament House in Perth with a look at how this all started. Tom?
She was really scared there.
This was Deborah Kirk just days before her death. Her family claiming she didn't have access to pain relief despite raising concerns with staff and was given dry meals like this piece of unbuttered bread.
Tom Marlow joins us from the scene with the details.
Noel, the crash happened here in Newlands, just south of Donnybrook, around 8:05 last night. Now, Mr Hayward will have to face the cameras again next Monday, the 13th of December, when he's due back in court for his second appearance. Noel? Now, that prompted the McGowan government to change the law to stop him from pursuing the claim, which the Premier said would have bankrupted WA. It's the high-stakes legal showdown featuring a billionaire and a state premier.
Been a frightening armed hold-up in Bunbury. The two men behind it are on the run, but they were captured by security cameras. Tom Marlow reports.
Good afternoon. The two men walked into this Carey Park news agency, one armed with a knife, the other a hammer.
Tom, once again, it was clear skies for most.
Yeah, it certainly was, Shauna. Warm and dry across the state with fresh and gusty easterlies for the north. That's thanks to a ridge of high pressure developing down here to the south. The 12 officers arrived here in Broome yesterday and will be deployed across the Kimberley by the district superintendent when and where they're needed. Incredible audio of the moment little Cleo was freed. 20 spine-tingling seconds closing a remarkable chapter in one of WA's biggest ever police investigations.
I got her.
The search hasn't been without its challenges. Yesterday afternoon, a paramedic from Dunsborough had to be airlifted to hospital after becoming injured on the rocks, trying to help. And 130,000 cups of beer. And part of that menu involves produce from regional WA, with crayfish rolls from Cervantes and Geraldton and steak sandwiches with beef from Marble Bar. Aaron was airlifted from Carnarvon here to Royal Perth Hospital in an induced coma. His wife and their two daughters have relocated too, with a GoFundMe page raising thousands of dollars to help pay for their Perth accommodation. He's spent the past 2 years keeping people and COVID out of WA. Now a new job for Roger Cook, losing the health portfolio and gaining tourism. He's now tasked with bringing people in. Amber Jade Sanderson is the member for Morley. She was only promoted to cabinet this year after the McGowan government's election victory in March. 4 millimetres, that was at Gutha West in the Central West, 0.2 for most other areas. The kids here today are all at the age where they're applying for their learners permits, and organisers say this real-life scenario is a great way to show them just how dangerous country roads can be. Today, silence from April Gulberti after she was sentenced over the neglect. With the state government unable to strike a deal, the concern now is that grains farmers will recruit inexperienced workers to bring in the harvest or work themselves around the clock. The Association of Independent Schools of WA says it simply can't isolate students on site because there are too many close contacts. It believes it's better for students' mental health to isolate at home. Magistrate Johnston will now read a 5-page letter submitted to the court from one of Mr Gibbs's daughters before she hands down her sentence next Friday, the 18th of February. Tom Marlow, GWN 7 News.